Hello everybody and welcome back to Gumu the Gamer. Today we are going to be doing some science. Experiment 1. Purpose: to use a microscope to view cells, you will need a microscope, an onion, a knife, pipettes, a slide, gloves and dye. This is a microscope. It has 4 lenses, each magnifying differently, a coarse scroll wheel and a light scroll wheel for scrolling, and a focusing wheel for focusing your image to make sure it looks crystal clear. Here we have the microscope stage, where your sample is put on. Now we know the basics of a microscope. Let's get started. You will need gloves, some slides, dye, and a sharp knife. For this experiment, I'm going to use a red onion. So I'm going to cut a small bit of the red onion and carefully put it on the slide. So if I take the slide here, we can spread it out evenly, and now we're going to be getting a small bit of methylene blue dye to dye our cells. So take it out carefully with a pipette and put a small drop of the dye on top. Put the rest back. Once you've finished that, close the dye, put it aside and take a cover. I advise that you use a pincer when putting the cover on, as it makes it a lot easier. Once you've done this, you can look at it under a microscope. My microscope has 4 lenses. The first one is 4. This lens magnifies least. We will look at pictures from this lens. Next is 10. 10 magnifies slightly more than 4, but not as much as 40. We will be looking at pictures from 10. Next is 40. 40 is one of the largest lenses. It magnifies very well, but is not as potent as 100, which we won't use today. First, we're going to look at the 4 lens. Here we are in the microscope's view at the 4 lens. Notice how you can see the cells. We can scroll around. And we can also notice how some places have more blue than others. This is because they have been dyed. You can focus and unfocus, but you want to keep it as crystal clear as possible. Feel free to explore your mini world of cells, but you can also up it up. Here we are in 10, and we immediately need to focus. Now that we've focused, you can see that the cells are larger. This will carry on happening until we reach the highest one we'll use today, which is 40. Now you can see the edge of our sample, and you can notice the nuclei in some of the cells. This will be more visible if we go to 40. So let's do that. We are in 40, and once again we have to focus it. Here you can notice that it's focused, and the cells are enormous, nearly taking up our whole screen. You can notice the nucleus on some of them. Some microscopes may not have a scroller where you can connect it to your computer. In this case, my microscope has a camera. Now, let's take a look at some pictures.